Homosexuality is a modern notion. The word is first used in the late 19th century. Likewise, sexual orientation in contemporary understanding is a recent construct. If we were to ask ancient persons about their sexual orientation, they would give us a puzzled look, just as if we were to ask them about their religion. Because the notion of religion as a distinct system of beliefs and practices is a modern one. In antiquity, what we now call religion was part of culture, more broadly and not really distinguished from it. It's part of it. With that said, we should more properly speak of homoeroticism in the sense of same-sex sexual relationships, rather than impose our contemporary understanding on ancient texts. What does the Bible say about homoeroticism or homoerotic relationships? In comparison to offenses such as murder, theft, adultery, not very much. There are some narratives in which it is claimed that such relationships are described. One of them being Sodom. I've done a class on Sodom, so look at the link up here, click on it and review it. Sodom is often cited by modern opponents of homosexuality. The precise location of Sodom and its sister Gomorrah is unknown, but the biblical writers located in the region just east of the Dead Sea. That region is the lowest on the landmass of the earth, more than 1,200 feet below sea level. Its geological situation and its elevation combine to make it desolate and barren. Temperatures in the summer can reach as high as 120 degrees, and smells of sulfur fill the air. How had this region become so forbidden? We get an ideology, as the Bible often does. We get a narrative explaining the origins of a geographical feature that I just explained. What precisely was the sin of Sodom that provoked God to destroy it? The earliest interpretation of the Bible, chronologically and culturally, closest to the time of the Bible writers, are found in the Bible itself. One such interpretation is found in the 1st century BCE Jewish work known as the Wisdom of Solomon. Referring to the inhabitants of Sodom, its anonymous author says that they refused to receive strangers who came to them and made their guests their slaves. For this ancient writer, one sin of the citizens of Sodom was an appalling violation of a fundamental social principle of antiquity, which is hospitality. They wanted to rape strangers in town. Now, rape is a crime of violence rather than a sexual one. That is, rape is a violent form of dominance that uses sex, not an inappropriate, violent expression of libido. Not at all. So, the attempt to rape Lot's visitors is an example of Sodom's immorality because they wanted to violate hospitality with violence against strangers in town. We find a repetition of the story of Sodom in the horrible narrative of the rape of the Levite's concubine. What do we observe? As at Sodom, there are strangers in town. As at Sodom, they are taken in by a resident alien. As at Sodom, the men of the city surround the house where the guests are staying and demand that the Levite be sent out. As at Sodom, the host appeals to the principle of hospitality. As at Sodom, the host offers two women as substitute, in this case, his virgin daughter and the Levite's wife. Now, however, no angels come to the rescue. Notably, this is not a Canaanite city like Sodom, but Gibeah, an Israelite town whose inhabitants are as bad as those of Sodom. The literary parallel implies. And as at Sodom, homoeroticism is not the essential element of the story. In fact, like the citizens of Sodom, those of Gibeah are rapists, willing to rape women as well as men, with brutal disregard for the principles of hospitality. That principle was a central component of Israelites' covenantal obligation to each other to love the neighbor, the fellow Israelite. The men of Gibeah had violated this core principle.